Hello, hello. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about Jonny Greenwood's unique fingerstyle pattern that he's using in the song, as well as Ed O'Brien's delay effects. If you like the content, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the Patreon if you want to download tabs and other exclusive content. Okay, let's dive in. So I initially thought that this song was going to be relatively straightforward, but I should have known better because it's Radiohead, and I'm just knocked out on how almost all their songs have something deeper that you can dig into. In this case, that's how Jonny uses his thumb to scrape upwards on the strings to create this percussive roll. Sort of the same way a regular brushstroke would, but it almost has more presence than a brushstroke would, and it's something that I've honestly never seen before anywhere else. Figuring it out was difficult because although I knew he was using his thumb in a general upwards direction, in most of the live videos that I was watching, his hand was obscured due to the editing of the way these performances were being filmed. I also tried checking out other YouTube videos, but they were also doing it differently than this specific way. Fortunately, I did find a live set that did offer a good view of him performing this part, which is their Live from Berlin set. I'll link it in the description below. And yeah, so what I learned is he's actually using the nail of his thumb to scrape upwards on the bottom 3 strings of the guitar. while muting the strings out with the left hand, like this. Actually, muting and playing strings in a certain way is going to be important in the song, just to keep your sound clean and prevent it from becoming a bloody mess. Let's actually go over some notes in detail so you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so hopefully this is a clear vantage point for you guys. I have the notes up on the screen so you guys can follow along. So if you look at the first note here, we have a pull off on the 4th string from the 2nd fret to your open string. So what's important to note is as you pull off with your index finger, pull off and rest it on the 3rd string below it. This way it keeps it clean and you don't get too much bleed in your sound. See, this is what we don't want. If I just recklessly pull off with my index finger, it's going to hit the other strings and then those strings are going to ring out as well. So as I pull off here, watch my index finger and how it rests on the adjacent string below it. And that way it keeps it clean. The next note that we have is going to be on the 2nd string, 4th fret, and we're just going to finger pick that with our index finger. By the way, this entire finger picking pattern in the song is all going to be just thumb and index finger, so just keep that in mind. After that, we're going to go straight into I'm just going to call it the thumb scrape. So with the nail of the side of my thumb / tip of my thumb, I'm going to scrape upwards on the bottom 3 strings while I mute the strings out with my left hand. I'm mainly using my middle finger to mute out all the strings, but you can use your other fingers as well. It's not a big deal. So I got my strings muted out here, and then I'm gonna push upwards pretty firmly with the nail of my thumb, like that. You wanna dig in a little bit into the strings with your thumb. You purposely want some resistance from the strings so that you roll up instead of just going, this is what we don't want. We don't wanna just strum in a block like this, right? We want to roll up, and so the harder you dig in, the more it's going to roll. And then after that, you're going to go straight into a pull off on the 1st string from the 2nd fret into your open string. Again, we're going to pick that with our index finger. Then we got a note on the 2nd string, 4th fret, pick that with our index. And then last note is on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and we're gonna pick that again with our index finger. So just a quick overview from the beginning again. We got our pull off into our note on the 2nd string. Then we got our thumb scrape into another pull off into these 2 notes. So one more time. Another thing to keep in mind is to keep your swing feel throughout this whole thing, because the song is very swung. If you're not familiar with how to do a swing feel, if that confuses you, I would suggest looking into it. Just check out another YouTube video or something. Okay, let's practice as an exercise Jonny's entire part in this section. I'll have the notes pulled up and then we'll play through it together. Okay, now we're going to talk about Ed O'Brien's delay effects in the song. This is going to be a quick segment because it's pretty straightforward. What you're going to need are 2 delay pedals, one a short delay and one a long delay. Let's start with the short delay. So I'm using my Boss ME50 multi-effects pedal. So to start, here's just my regular clean sound. So I'm going to click my delay on. As you can see, or maybe you can't see, but I have my time set pretty low and the feedback set pretty high. And then I have my dry wet knob all the way up, but that just means it's pretty much 50% dry and 50% wet. So this is what that sounds like. As you can hear, it's almost like a slap back delay. I would say a touch longer than a slap back delay would be. And yeah, so that's that one. Okay, now let's take a look at our long delay. As you can see here, I have the time set to a quarter note. You don't need to have it set to a quarter note, but that's what I had it, and I was pretty satisfied with what I got. I have my mix knob turned to 2 o'clock, so that's a little more wet than dry. And then I have my feedback set pretty low. When you come in with Ed's part in this section, I'm using a volume knob to sort of gradually come in. So this is what that sounds like. And then you sort of go from there. At a certain point, he also hits his octave pedal an octave up. I'm going to turn that on. That's going to sound like this. And that's pretty much all there is to it. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that was helpful. I'll see you guys next time.